This drops today. I know you're going to head right down to your local comic book shop and pick up the all-new High Republic Lesbian Wedding from the High Republic Star Wars. You can get them in 3 different covers because that's what we want to see in Star Wars. We want to watch. We've already had the lesbian witches that create the thread force to make babies. Now we're going to have the official lesbian wedding of 2 characters I have no idea about because, yeah, that's exactly what Star Wars is. Lesbians.
Oh, my goodness. This is real? This isn't a meme?
It's real. It dropped today.
Lucasfilm will never, ever, ever recover from this shit. Never. This is always going to be what they're about. They will never recover. It's never going to change. They have a disease called social justice propaganda at their company. And this puts it into perspective right. Holy shit, man. Is this 3 different covers?
Of course. You can get...
So they're releasing 3 different covers of something that's not going to sell?
Apparently, the High Republic comic series doesn't do well at all.
This doesn't, like, if you took Star Wars, the name Star Wars, off of that headline right there, would you recognize this as Star Wars in any capacity whatsoever?
No.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick this up and review it for your channel? Roast the living hell out of it.
I just might talk about these covers and that'll be the end of it. I have no interest in this. Star Wars has tried. Lucasfilm, the people at Lucasfilm have done everything in their power to push the High Republic, to make it something special, to make it the new EU that everybody loved. They tried it so hard. This was their specific DEI way of Star Wars. In the High Republic, you have transgender Jedis that look like Star Wars Theory. I don't know if you remember those guys. They were twins. This is where they pushed a lot of their asexual character, and all of them had these weird labels. Yeah, you never saw those guys? Did you want to see them?
I can't remember.
But this is what they... I'll have to pull it up.
Theory just catching strays for no reason.
No, he knew. He knew all about this. It was kind of funny. Here they are right here.
I don't know if I saw this or not. I can't remember if I saw this.
Let me get a better picture. This one's kind of crappy. But yeah, while we're looking for that. But that's been their whole thing with the High Republic. The High Republic series introduced the lesbian mothers to their Young Jedi series and all that. They just, I don't know. They just use the High Republic to push all this stuff. And all the sales and everything else prove that nobody wants it. Even the Acolyte itself was, here we go.
I'm interested to see this. I have not seen this, so I'm very interested to see where you're going with this one.
You haven't seen this cover?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I've seen this or not. You know, I mean, I'm so detached from Star Wars for the most part. The only thing I really paid attention to in the last couple of years was the Acolyte because I knew that it was going to get a lot of views.
That was High Republic 2. All right, let's get this ad out of the way. Are you ready for the big... These are... I'm not joking. I wish I was making this up. These are trans... non-binary. That's what they're called. Trans non-binary Jedi.
Oh, I do remember this. Okay, I do remember this. They do look like Theory. I do remember it. Oh my god. Holy crap. Yeah, there you go. I remember that now. How long ago was that?
I don't know.
That was years ago. That was years ago.
Since the High Republic started, they've been pushing this crap. So
yeah, I do remember this. Anyway,
listen, Theory talked about this on a live stream once, and he goes, "Did they make him look like me on purpose?" So I'm not saying anything that he hasn't said. So, but yeah,
hail the Theory.
Pretty crazy. But yeah, so like this is the last. I believe this is the last wave of the High Republic because they were going to do 3 sessions. And this is the last wave. They did everything in their power to try to make that successful as, like, again, to be part of the EU, which was loved by by Star Wars fans. They sold millions of copies of books, and they were like, we could do this with the High Republic with comic books, and every comic books, children's television shows, and the Acolyte, and nothing stuck. So because nobody wanted to see that crap.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a losing situation, and they just continue to do it over and over and over again. So, I personally, I hope they keep doing it. This High Republic thing, I personally want to see exactly how many copies they sell. 3 different covers of this piece of shit.
I don't think. I think their comics. I think they barely break like the 5,000. So I have to get like a better website to see how they track that stuff. But we had the High Republic book sales from like the start to like phase 2, and some of their books barely sold 2,000 books.
Damn.
So I don't know about phase 3. That's crazy.
You get what you deserve.
You put a Star Wars name on. There's a time where you could put a Star Wars thing on anything, a butter dish, a hat, and people bought it.
It's true.
Now it's like they've got to do everything in their power to try to like push 1,000 sales.
I'm still that way about like G.I. Joe. If you put G.I. Joe on something, I'm more than likely gonna buy it. If I'm at Walmart and I see some I see Star Wars on something, I don't care.
It's like a comedy.
I don't care. It means absolutely nothing to me. They've tried to bring the OG characters back into like toy stores and stuff like that in the toy aisle. And you're like, no, dude, fuck you. You told us that none of these characters mattered. You told us that the new characters were the thing that we had to care about. We need to focus on them, and we're toxic if we think that George Lucas's Star Wars is what matters. So it doesn't matter what you do with Star Wars at this point in time. You've established clearly to the fans that we are the toxic ones, and we're wrong for loving George Lucas's Star Wars. So you can all burn in hell. That's how I look at it now.
It's just weird that people are still in charge over, like, we talk about Kennedy and everybody else. It's just when you see everything going down rapidly, and I think the only thing that's kept people up was the sale of the Baby Yoda toys.
That was huge. So
yeah, and I think they just that probably bounced them back up for a while to do a bunch of this stupid stuff, and then now it's just
So I'll say this: years ago, we were able to meet up with a huge person in the toy industry, like high up, and this was all like brokered by someone else. Like I think there was like we were trying to work something out with like a big sponsorship, and then they didn't really know who we were. They were only told who we were. They were like, "All these guys are huge. They got a huge channel." I think they found out like we're super fucking toxic. You know what I mean? Like when they started looking, they're like, yeah, these guys are not like family friendly at all. But within the discussion, we were talking about things, and they told us straight up, they're like, the Baby Yoda stuff is the biggest movement we've ever seen in our industry. Like that short run, you know what I mean? Of Baby Yoda, the Baby Yoda craze was the biggest spike we'd ever seen on anything. Yeah. And we could not believe it. The demand was so high after The Mandalorian, and there was no product. It was insane. And I'm like,
yeah, people that had the Etsy stores, and they were making Baby Yoda stuff were making tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars selling, because Star Wars didn't have a product ready for that Christmas,
right,
when it dropped. So they were just, and then I know we covered it. Then Lucasfilm came out and were shutting down Etsy stores and all that stuff. And like, they didn't want people selling that it was crazy how all that happened. And then they finally released their Baby Yoda stuff, and there we go.
So, we'll see. I look forward to seeing how those sales are when they release those High Republic garbage comics. It will be funny.